Welcome back. It's day 2, and today I'm going to take you through the next part of the process in this really cute spring banner that we are making. Today I'm going to show you some of my sewing tips and techniques that I use to put this banner together. And this is a really fun one, and you can really customize this and make it your own with the fabrics that you use and the colors that you choose to use and your stitching, and there's so many ways that you can make changes and do whatever you want to do. So keep on watching. This is day 2. We are going to put all of our individual pieces and letters on each of the panels. So you can go ahead now and peel off that other paper backing. If you're using Steam-A-Seam, if you're using something else, just follow the manufacturer's instructions. I prefer Steam-A-Seam because right now this layer that I have here in my hand is tacky, which means it'll stick and it'll stay where I want it to, but it's still not permanent until I fuse it with my iron. So this allows me to build and move things around in whatever way I feel like I need to before committing to them being permanently in place, where things like heat and bond, they work great, but they tend to curl even after you pull the paper off, and they don't always lay flat. And this allows me to really see where it's gonna go and what I want it to look like, move it around and adjust it just so I can get it exactly where I want. Now, one thing to keep in mind while you're placing your letters and your little cute bunnies or whatever shapes you're using, you wanna make sure to leave a minimum of 1/4 of an inch away from the edge. You don't want to put it too close to your edges because you're going to sew a binding on when we're all done. And with some of these smaller pieces, it does help to use a tweezer to place them properly and to pull the back off. So if you're struggling with any of the tiny little pieces, just grab a tweezer. It really helps. So for this part, I like to get all of my blocks laid out exactly how I want them before I fuse any of them. That way, if I change my mind and I decide, I don't like this color on green, I want to put this on yellow, you can move things around and you can still make changes until you go and iron. Once you press them with a hot iron and steam, then they will be permanent. But this is just my process and the way I like to do these. So with these other ones, again, with the tiny pieces, make sure you're grabbing a tweezer, whatever you need to help you lay them out. And again, like I said, you can lay it all down and then you can move it if you want to. Now we're going to bring them over to the iron and give them a really good press to make sure that everything is on there permanently. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take any of the ones that have antenna. So like the bee, the butterfly, the ladybug, and I'm just drawing those lines on there with like a heat erasable pen, water soluble, something that will disappear, because then we're going to stitch along those lines. It's just easier if you have a guide. Now this is an applique foot. Not necessary, but helpful if you have one for your machine. It helps this process. You can use whatever stitches you want to here. You can use whatever color thread. If you don't like the black, if you want to use more of a matching thread or a colorful thread, again, you know we don't have rules over here. You get to do whatever you want and be as creative as you want to be. Now I'm using a simple straight stitch here along the letters, but if you prefer a blanket stitch, you can do that, or a decorative top stitch. You can do whatever you want. Because I use Steam-A-Seam, everything on here is already permanent. The stitching is just what adds an element of detail. It's not necessary to hold the pieces in place. So for like the really tiny details, like the bunny's nose in the center of these flowers, you don't have to stitch them in place if you don't want to. They will stay there. Now, I thought it'd be really fun for the bottom of this boot to do a blanket stitch, so it would look more like the bottom of a shoe would, but again, this was just me playing around, having fun with my machine. You can do whatever you want for this whole part of the top stitching. I decided for this one I wasn't even going to do the flowers because I don't really need to. Now, okay, here we are with the antenna. Go really slow and make your stitch length a little bit shorter, and that will help get around these curved details. And I will do 1 or 2 stitches and then pivot my needle just slightly to go around to get a better circle. And this applique foot does help with that, but again, it's not necessary. You just go slow. I thought I would do a really fun blanket stitch around the outside of the ladybug. And like I mentioned, this is just something that's a personal preference. You can do whatever you want to do on all of this top stitching detail. We are gonna move on now to sewing the pieces together. So you're gonna take your strips and you're going to sew the first one to the bottom of the first letter, so the letter S, right sides together, and then finger press that down towards the other side, and then place the top of the next letter on the bottom of that band. And you're gonna repeat this process until all of your letters are connected. So again, we'll put that down right sides together, and you're gonna stitch it in place, finger press that open, put your next one down on top of it, and stitch it, and you just continue this process all the way down until your letters are all connected. Now we're gonna bring it over to the ironing board and give it a really good press. I sometimes will use my squirt bottle here or steam from my iron. I start with pressing on the back side, but then I always flip it over to make sure there aren't any weird lines or creases. And we are already done with day 2. Wasn't that fun? We're almost done. Tomorrow, day 3, we're gonna finish this all up. I'm gonna show you step by step how I do the binding, it's my favorite method of binding. There are a lot of different ways to do binding. There's no right or wrong way. You just should do whatever works best for you. And a lot of people have mentioned that this method has helped them so much, and it's my favorite way to do it. I bind anything that needs binding with this method here. So I'm gonna show you that tomorrow in day 3, so be sure you come back. Now, be sure you also check out the Sewing Squad. All the information is below in the details, like down below. You can click the link, you can check it out. We would love to have you join us if you want this pattern that we're showing here today. Make sure that you join, you can download the pattern, you can check it all out, and we can't wait to have you inside the Sewing Squad.